Introduction. The children's choice of their parents, a spiritual mystery. Hello. Have you ever stopped to think about the mystery surrounding your own family? Have you ever wondered why you were born in the exact home you're in, surrounded by the people you now call father, mother, brothers, sisters, or children? For many, this may seem like a matter of chance, a random combination of biology or destiny. But according to Spiritist doctrine, nothing in life happens by chance. Every family bond, every encounter, every challenge within the home carries a much greater purpose, one that transcends this earthly existence. Today, let's dive together into this fascinating theme, the spiritual choice of children for their parents, and how these bonds, far from being accidental, are part of a cosmic project of evolution. Get ready for a deep reflection, one that may change the way you see your family and your own journey. Shall we begin? Chapter 1. Family Beyond the Visible. When we think of family, we usually picture a house, familiar faces, shared moments, whether of joy or conflict. But family is much more than that. According to Spiritism, true family is not limited to the surname we carry, the blood that runs in our veins, or the records in a notary's office. There is something far greater, the spiritual family. This spiritual family is formed by souls who, over multiple lifetimes, build bonds of affinity, learn together, repay past debts, and walk side by side in search of growth. Imagine, for a moment, that the people you live with today, your parents, children, or siblings, have already been with you in other lives, perhaps in completely different roles. The father who now guides you may once have been a dear friend. The mother who now nurtures you may once have been a sister. Even that relative with whom you struggle may have shared a story with you in the past that still needs resolution. Transformative, isn't it? This idea invites us to see family as a great stage for learning, where each person plays a role carefully chosen before even being born. But how does this happen? How are these bonds formed? To understand, we need to talk about reincarnatory planning, a process that takes place before returning to physical life. In the spiritual realm, each of us, guided by spiritual mentors, more evolved spirits who support us, reviews our trajectory. At that moment, we reflect on what we've already learned, the mistakes we've made, the virtues we need to develop, and the commitments we have to others. It's like standing before a great map of our evolution, tracing the path for the next stage of our journey. This planning is not simple, like choosing an outfit for the day. It's a deep process, full of meaning. There we decide in which country to be born, in what era, under what social conditions, with what kind of physical body, and most importantly, with whom we will share this new life. And it is at this very moment that the choice of parents takes place. Yes, according to Spiritism, children choose their parents, and parents, in a way, also agree to receive those children. It's not an arbitrary or casual decision. There is a spiritual attunement, a connection that leads a spirit to a particular home. For example, a spirit may choose to be reborn into a family to repair a past mistake, perhaps with someone they hurt or abandoned. Or they may choose a home where they will find the support needed to develop fragile virtues like patience, humility, or generosity. And this choice is never an imposition. In the spiritual realm, there is mutual agreement, a silent pact between parents and children, where all accept to walk together, facing joys and challenges that will make sense within the grand plan of evolution. This perspective makes us rethink everything, doesn't it? That deep connection we feel with our parents or children, that love greater than life itself, or even the conflicts that challenge us, all of it has a reason for being. Shall we reflect more on this? In the next section, we'll explore how these bonds manifest in practice and why, even in difficulties, there is always a spiritual purpose. Chapter 2. Family Bonds and Their Purposes. When we look at our families, it's common to notice that not all relationships are the same. With some relatives, living together feels easy, full of harmony and understanding. With others, however, everything seems like a challenge. Who has never wondered, why was I born into this family? Or, why did this child, so different from me, come into my life? According to Spiritism, each family relationship is an opportunity for learning. Not all spirits in a family are at the same level of evolution. Some may be more advanced, with greater spiritual understanding, while others still carry difficulties, addictions, or the marks of past mistakes. This difference is precisely what makes family life so rich. One relative may teach patience. Another may awaken responsibility. Others arrive to bring lessons of forgiveness, humility, or unconditional love. Take Anna, for example, a mother who constantly struggles with her teenage son, Pedro. He is rebellious, questioning, and often challenges every rule of the house. Anna, on the other hand, is organized and disciplined. At first glance, this seems like just a generational clash. But spiritually, there may be more. Perhaps in another life, Anna was authoritarian with Pedro, demanding blind obedience. Now, as mother, she has the chance to learn understanding, dialogue, and patience. Meanwhile, Pedro may be learning to respect limits and balance freedom with responsibility. What looks like conflict is actually a spiritual classroom, where both have the chance to grow. Sometimes, former adversaries choose to reincarnate in the same family to reconcile. Two souls who once hurt each other, through betrayal, rivalry, or even violence, may agree to return as father and son, siblings, or spouses. Daily life may reignite old resentments, but it's precisely in that closeness that hatred can transform into understanding, and resentment into forgiveness. Even sibling rivalry can stem from past disputes, over inheritance, love, or power. Now, as brothers and sisters, they have the chance to learn sharing, cooperation, and fraternity. Each small act of patience, each avoided argument, is a spiritual victory. Of course, not everything is conflict. Some families overflow with love so profound it seems beyond logic. How many times have you heard a mother say she felt her child even before birth? Or a father say he recognized his child's soul instantly at first glance? These are signs of deep spiritual ties, promises made in the spiritual realm, souls committed to walking together to support, strengthen, and grow. So, what does this mean for us? It means that family is not just a group of people sharing a home, it is a school for souls, where every challenge, joy, and tear has a purpose. Chapter 3. Free Will and the Path of Evolution. Now that we understand that the choice of parents and children is part of spiritual planning, it's important to remember something essential: free will. Yes, before birth, we design a plan, choose our parents, and accept the challenges ahead. But once we arrive on Earth, that plan is not a rigid sentence. It's like a map, full of directions and possibilities, but how we walk the path is up to us. Each daily choice, love, patience, forgiveness, or conversely, anger, pride, indifference, shapes the outcome of our journey. This means a spirit may choose a family to learn patience but, in practice, may fall into impatience and miss the lesson. A father who agreed to guide a child's growth may fail in that role through weakness or neglect. But the opposite is also true. Even in situations that seem destined for failure, a single gesture of love, a moment of understanding, or an effort toward reconciliation can completely change the story. Take Clara, a single mother raising her sickly son, João. Each day was a battle. Doctor visits, mounting expenses, sleepless nights. Sometimes she wondered why life was so hard. But spiritually, Clara and João had chosen this experience together. João, as a spirit, accepted a fragile body to accelerate his growth in humility and gratitude. Clara accepted the role of guiding him, developing strength, patience, and unconditional love. Despite the hardships, every care she gave and every smile he offered was a spiritual victory, a step forward for both. Reincarnatory planning doesn't erase challenges, but it gives them meaning. Each family struggle is an opportunity to grow. A rebellious child may teach tolerance. A demanding father may instill discipline. A loving mother may anchor us in life's storms. Even intense conflicts, ruptures, or pain are not wasted. Each experience plants seeds of growth to be reaped, if not now, then in another life. Pause and reflect on your own family. Is there someone you find difficult to deal with? Or someone who fills your life with joy? Try seeing these relationships from a spiritual perspective. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this person? How can I grow through this challenge? This simple shift in perspective can transform how you live your relationships. Chapter 4. Love that Transcends Death. One of the most beautiful aspects of Spiritism's view of family is the certainty that bonds of love are not broken by death. Disincarnation, the return of the soul to the spiritual realm, separates bodies only temporarily, but souls remain connected. A mother who departs continues to accompany her child, often as an invisible presence offering inspiration and comfort. A father who passes early remains connected to his family, awaiting reunion in another plane or life. A child who leaves before the parents continues to live on, united by love that transcends time. This certainty brings immense comfort, especially for those facing loss. How many times do we miss someone who has passed, yet still feel their presence nearby? That is not imagination. It is the reflection of a spiritual bond that never breaks. In Spiritism, we believe that the spiritual family is eternal, and each earthly life is but one chapter of a much larger story. That's why family life is so precious. Every shared moment, whether a simple meal, a hug after a hard day, or even a disagreement that teaches forgiveness, is an opportunity to build spiritual wealth. Every act of love, every sacrifice, every effort to understand one another strengthens these bonds and prepares us for future reunions. And how can we live these bonds better? By practicing small acts each day: patience with a family member's mistakes, dialogue with those who think differently, loving firmness in correction, serene silence in moments of misunderstanding. Loving humanity in the abstract is easy, but it is in the family that God invites us to practice love in the most concrete way, facing differences and cultivating virtues. Chapter 5. An Invitation to Reflection. We've reached the end of this reflection, but the journey is only beginning. The idea that children choose their parents, and parents accept their children, invites us to look at our families with new eyes. It's not just about living together, but about growing together, learning, forgiving, and loving despite imperfections. Every home is a school for souls, where we are daily tested in love, patience, and compassion. So here's a special invitation for you. Today, as you think of your family, try to see each one of them as part of a greater plan. Ask yourself, what lesson is this person bringing me? How can I be better for them, and for myself? Perhaps there are wounds that need healing, words that need to be spoken, or gestures of forgiveness waiting to happen. Don't wait for tomorrow. The chance to transform begins now. And if this message touched your heart, I invite you to share it with others. Talk about it with your family, with a friend, or even share your story with those who might benefit from it. Your experience may inspire others to see family life with deeper meaning. Finally, remember, your family, with all its joys and challenges, is a divine gift. It is sacred ground, where you plant the seeds of your spiritual evolution. Care for this garden with love, because every flower that blossoms there is a step toward the light. Thank you for walking with me this far. May we continue our journey together, as part of a great spiritual family, moving toward a future filled with love and understanding. Until next time. Would you like me to refine this into a more polished narrative style for an audiobook/podcast script, with natural pauses, emotional emphasis, and rhythm? Or do you prefer to keep it as a direct, faithful translation for reading purposes?